Welcome back to the channel, and today is a massive versus challenge. The new T150 iron from Titleist and the P770 iron from Taylormade. Two brilliant irons head to head in the Trackman studio. Remember guys, if you like our video, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. We're in the studio here at Milton Keynes. We've got probably one of the most popular iron launches I've ever seen from Titleist, which is the T150 against the P770 from Taylormade. So two great irons designed at the same type of golfer, someone who wants a good amount of feel, slightly smaller head shapes. Obviously T150 slightly bigger than the T100, but that kind of really classic quality looking iron. So today we're going to jump in the bay like we've done before in our versus videos and see how the numbers stack up. So what I've done is I've put the Project X 6.0 shaft in. It's the shaft it's the softer version of the shaft I'm using. I feel like I'm getting a bit slower as well, so I'm going to stick the 6 in rather than the 6.5 in both. We're using the Titleist X left dash golf ball, Pro V left dash, so we know where we are in terms of testing and what ball we're using. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with the 770. It's been out a little while now, 770. It's one of those irons that Taylormade bought out really off the back of the popularity of P790 a few years ago. They've had a couple of generations of this, and it was really designed for the guy that wanted the power of P790 but felt that it was almost too hot. They didn't maybe like the thicker top line of 790, so they've gone into the 770, and it was kind of born out of this need to create this hybrid for the better player. So as you can see, when you get a 770 down, it does look really nice and crisp. The top line is good. Let's hit some numbers and see what Trackman says. So typical out of any P series irons, you do get that little click. You get that straight away, the little click off of the club face. It doesn't necessarily feel as soft as some, but it does feel very powerful. Like I say, it's got the similar technology in it to the 790, so it's designed to really give someone who wants a classic looking iron a bit more power, a bit more ball speed, without looking like a shovel. So let's have a look at some of these numbers. So where are we? Club head speed there, 91, pretty standard as we know from my data. Carry 172, it's good for me. Land angle's good, 50 degrees, just can't climbing up to 50. So overall, it's a decent iron. What I would say with it, it looks great. You know, it looks really, really solid. Sounds good, doesn't it? No, it sounds like it's an iron that you will enjoy hitting. I think when you get this type of iron in the longer iron, it also feels very comfortable in hitting. Bit toey that one. So you know, I like to see my 7 out of 10 strikes. That one's still got a bit of carry in it. 160 obviously dropped off a little bit. So overall 770 there, a really, really solid iron. So we'll move across into T150, an iron that Titleist have already ran out of stock at one point this year. It's been so popular since its launch back in August. You can see why. They've really gone to town on it. It's a forged head, forged face, just the look, the feel. But what has been reported back is the power of this iron. So not only is it a real good quality feel and the softness in the forged, off of the face in the forged face, but also what we're getting reports back for is the simple power. Plus, it looks quality as a Titleist iron. So let's get it in the bay and let's see how it compares to that 770. Again, look, it looks great, right? It just looks. Wow. Okay, you can almost sense and feel the different sound straight away. So that's gone first swing with that 179 Land angles 50 degrees, nearly 51 degrees. I mean, what an iron that was. What a that was. Feels really solid, like ridiculously solid. What I love about the Titleist iron is the feedback of it. So I love the feeling that when you actually strike one out the middle, it's so soft, so solid. The head's a little bit bigger. I would, you know, when I'm putting that behind the ball, let me just grab the 770 there as well. When I'm putting those behind the ball, in terms of, I mean, they look very similar in terms of size, but I think maybe it's the colouring, you know, the kind of shiny chrome. It just oozes a little bit more confidence for me. Again, like we always say with these things, they're very subjective. I do love the 770 and the way it looks, but I think that's just going to give me, or is giving me, a little bit more confidence and almost frames the golf ball a little bit better for me. It's just a personal preference. Again, that last shot there, 175 carry. What I do love when we're doing these tests is each manufacturer, and you're probably noticing it, each manufacturer is really pointing out the fact that this type of iron, these two types of irons, are for the similar type of golfer. So you shouldn't really see, with brands such as Taylormade and Titleist, when they're going up against each other, you shouldn't really see a huge amount of difference of performance change, right? They're both fantastic brands. They're both building brilliant product. It's going to come down in terms of what maybe the player wants in terms of performance and what the player likes in terms of feel. And I think that gets massively missed in a fitting, is that when you go to a club fitting, when you're looking to change irons, is that throughout different manufacturers, you're going to find a product that is suitable. You might find a product that performs a little bit better in that range and a little bit worse, but what it comes down to sometimes is the way it looks, the way you take the feel, the way that you like the sound of it, whatever it may be, that gives you that confidence to strike it better, play better, enjoy hitting it more. So, you know, don't be alarmed when we're seeing some of these things and the numbers aren't massively different and we can't see a huge difference between sets of irons, because quite frankly, they're all really good. That was a better strike. Yeah, there we go. We can finish on that one. So 93, carried 180, really powerful iron in T150. I mean, my personal preference, feel off T150 there was a lot better. So let's do a quick comparison and see how these numbers stack up. Okay, so let's have a little look at the comparison. I've got the dispersion chart up here of Trackman. I'm going to delete that really duff fat one. I know what you're going to say. We don't get any mulligans in the real world, but on the Trackman Studio we do. So this is the dispersion of T150. So pretty good. I would say, in fact, it's actually very good. And there's the difference with. Now this is P770. Let's be fair and let's delete that one that I obviously hit fat there as well. So in terms of dispersions, I said this a minute ago, that there's not a huge difference in terms of the performance. I mean, they're both good irons. If you'd hit one without the other, you'd both say they're very good. However, it is glaringly obvious that T150 is way more powerful. Okay? Way more powerful. 126 ball speed. Okay, my club head speed, you could say I'm loosening up a little bit more. It's gone up 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour, but ball speed's up 6 miles an hour on average, 5 miles an hour. There you go, 5.5 miles an hour, which is a ridiculous amount of ball speed. Carries up on average 7 yards. So that's getting to the verge of a whole club longer through the air on average. The longest there with the T150 was 185 yards of carry, which is just insane. Insane how good that is. 130 mile an hour ball speed. And what's insane about it is T150 isn't a launch pad. It's not designed to just smash through the air and kind of be one of these irons that is ultra forgiving and ultra hot. Titleist haven't said that about this iron. It's still got that kind of authentic Titleist nature of being forged, classic looking, quality feel. So to produce that level of ball speed, you can see why so far this season, or so far since its launch, it's been incredibly popular with all players, because it's given way more out than the T100 has, but it looks that kind of more classic Titleist look than the T200, although T200 has been popular. So 770, struggling a little bit here against the T150. There's some good numbers for it. You know, the land angle's still good, it's controlled, it's not as hot, so you may not get that jumper. You know, you could argue that that one out to the right there that's gone on 185 carry is a little bit hot, but if we take the best from both, I've got a 180 carry and a 172 carry. There's my 8 yards. That is a club longer. So for me, if we were rating these clubs one against the other, the first thing we would look at is the feel. So I said right at the beginning, 770 had that clicky feel. That's not my preference as a player. I prefer that softer feel. I used to play Mizuno irons when I played a lot, so you can tell I like that forged softness. So Titleist won that battle hands down from me. So 1-0 to Titleist. The look, I pulled them comparisons out, and maybe, and again, these guys, this is completely subjective. So if you're a Taylormade fan, please don't shoot me down. But Titleist, that chrome finish is something that I like the look of. It gave me more confidence the way it framed the golf ball. So I'd give another point to Titleist or the T150. On to custom fit. Well, we know that both of these irons are superb in their custom fit nature, so you can't really pick them apart. So we'll call that a draw and call it 3-1. Then it's on to overall performance. Now, overall performance is quite obvious to me. We've got an iron here that is creating more ball speed, that is creating as good a land angle, feels good, looks good. T150's got to win that. So that kind of takes us into being 4-1. So overall, if I was rating these two clubs against each other, and we've got this good Trackman data to back up what I'm seeing and feeling personally, I would say that the T150 iron against P770 is going to win all day, hands down, for me. So there we go, guys. I hope that was an interesting video. It's definitely a good one. I think one of the interesting things that we didn't mention just there was the fact that the T150, although it is a great iron, is not cheap. It's a little bit more expensive than P770. 770 is not a cheap iron either, but T150 is a little bit more expensive, but it is absolute quality. Performance is winning hands down over the 770. I hope that was useful. So if you're looking for that type of iron, put these two to test. You might come up with a completely different answer to me, and it would be great to hear in the comments if you've seen that, or you felt that, or you had a different opinion. It's always good to hear that. So if you like our videos, please hit that subscribe button, tell your golfing friends, and remember, if there's something that you want to put to us and want us to test, please hit it in those, or write it in those comments box below.